Good evening, everyone. My name is Segun. I'm a career coach and a customer experience leader. And today we're going to be continuing our weekly webinar series on career development. And this week we're going to be taking it up a little higher because we've been having an experienced HR professional kind of like talk to us about career positioning for better opportunities. But before we get into that a little bit, let me tell you about my channel. The name of my channel is New Generation. And what the channel is all about is for men and everyone to have the information and tools that they need to be the best version of themselves. So being the best version of yourselves is in every area. But for this period, we're currently focusing on career development and things along those lines. So when it comes to things like that, and something I'm very passionate about, and anytime I meet someone that has a similar interest or is also passionate about things like that, I try to bring them in my circle so I can have a discussion about it and help as much people as I can. So as part of what I do, as I said, like I'm a career coach and a customer experience leader. I help people to revamp their CVs, LinkedIn optimization, career development coaching, interview preparation, and things of that nature. So, and also speaking engagement too. So if by any chance you need help with any of that, or you have an opportunity or you need someone that can come and speak about career and things along that line, I'm the person that can do that for you. So right now, once we want to go right into the topic, which is career positioning for better opportunity, kind of equip people with the right tools and resources that they need to position themselves to um, get better opportunities. And there is a lot you can actually do to position yourself for better opportunities. But to help us, discuss this topic and really drive down some of the points that we, want to discuss, I like to be along my colleague. So I'll give you a bit of a backstory. I and Toby worked together in Conga Online Shopping Limited years ago. We were work colleagues, and I noticed how she was able to service career into human resources, and which is very inspiring. And I can, I've been watching her growth, from the years back now to where she is. So when I wanted to have this conversation, I knew that she would be the best person to kind of like do justice to this. And towards the end of this webinar, we'll also talk about her book because she recently just wrote a book which will be launching. That's 1st of July. So towards the end of the conversation, we'll talk a bit about that and what inspired her to write it, and and how we can also, support and get a copy of that. So without further delay, I'll welcome Toby to the call. So Toby, you're welcome. You have the floor now.
Okay, good morning. Sorry, I said good morning. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much once again, Sheko. So much, everyone. It's really nice to hear from everyone. It's been a pleasure. So, thank you once again, Shego, for this platform. I see that it's definitely helping a lot of people, and I'm so glad to be a part of this. And when Shagun actually reached out to me to say that I can actually do something regarding career positioning. I was actually very nervous and excited at the same time, really, actually. So yeah, we're just going to get straight to the topic for today, which is career positioning for better job opportunities. Right. I just like Shagun said, I started my career um, of course, when I graduated from university, NYC, um, I honestly didn't even know what I really wanted to do. I studied accounting, by the way. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I just knew that I just wanted to do a 9 to 5 because I was definitely not a business person that, you just tell people come and start buying. It was definitely not my thing. I knew that I just wanted to do a 9 to 5 work. In terms of career, I knew I never liked maths, right? Um, so accounting for me was a no-no, right? So I just went for the next simple thing, which is not so simple, by the way, was customer experience. And that's where I think I met Segun in Conga then, right? And what I noticed, and when I started realizing that I think I can do more, right? And that might probably be a story for another day. In a long, just to cut the long story short, I moved from customer experience to a full-time HR professional, right? And I feel that talking about career positioning, it just really resonates with me a lot, considering that this is a life experience that I will definitely be sharing along the line in the course of this meeting. And I hope that you learn a thing or two. And of course, if you have any questions at the end of this, please just let me know. Right. So first of all, what exactly is career positioning? For me, I always like to think of my career really as a product, right? How exactly do I sell myself in terms of positioning? We all know what positioning means, putting yourself out there in the right places at the right time, in the right, just having any form of strategy, right? I mean, imagine that you're one person that is probably selling, let's say, I'm selling corn, right? I mean, you can't expect that, okay, if I stay in my house to start selling corn, nobody is really going to buy, right? Unless I go out there, start the process of maybe either roasted corn or boiled corn. That's when people will probably see me and say, okay, yes, I want to buy, right? Nothing, nothing will make you a successful corn seller, if there's a word like that, while sitting down in your house, right? Expecting that customers will just come. It doesn't work that way. So, for you to be able to position yourself, you need to ask yourself these three questions. How exactly are you perceived professionally? How exactly do you show up online? Because gone are those days that you say that, okay, I want a better job. I want a job in, let's say, human resources, for instance. I like to think of that because that's my line anyway. And I am not even active on any social media platform, and you say that, okay, I'm looking for a job. How exactly are you going to get a job, right? You are not even visible on any social media platform, especially social media platforms for professionals like LinkedIn that we all know, right? So the question you should ask yourself is that how exactly do you show up, whether online, whether on paper, or whether in person? And what exactly do people really remember you for when they think of your name, right? Do they see you as someone that you're a go-to person? Do they see you as someone that, okay, if I call on Shewa can be able to handle this thing when it comes to customer experience. Shewa can be able to handle this thing when it comes to um, resolving customers' issues, right? So you really need to know exactly where you are. So that's why you have to ask yourself those questions. Another thing about career positioning is about understanding like your current position, know exactly where you are, right? I mean, if you say, just like I said earlier, in my life that I didn't know exactly what I wanted really. And I was just honestly dabbling into so many things. I wasn't sure of exactly my career path. And it just didn't give any context to what exactly I'm supposed to be doing. I didn't have a goal, I didn't have a vision. It was just more
Hello, we can't hear you. Is it just me? I think you're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Wow. Where
Yeah,
is
yeah.
there?
The last two, yeah, I think lines. I think, yeah.
Okay. So I said, so one another thing about career positioning is about understanding your current position, audit yourself. I mean, you have to reflect and take um like I said, you have to reflect, take out maybe notes or a pen and paper just to understand exactly what I want to do in my life, right? Is beyond just going to the office and coming back, right? What exactly are your top skills that you think that, okay, people can identify with you? Is it that, okay, just even if you think that you're a personal assistant to the MD, right? Am I just one person that just receives the MD's call, schedule meetings, right? And people will just say, oh, she's really not doing anything. So these are the things that you need to really ask yourself. What are your top three skills? What do people usually call you for to help them with? If you are the kind of person that you just find yourself being naturally good at doing something. For instance, I personally, I'm just one person that likes to fix things. Of course, I'm not an engineer. I'm not one person that likes to, in as much as I said I like to fix things. I now channel that energy to really, okay, knowing how to now deal with people, and that developed my love for HR. So I realized that it was just easy really for me to really help people, things that I expected people to even know, as little as uh, typing something on Microsoft Word, right? And I realized that they don't even know how to do it, and they come to me for help. And I realized that, okay, I find joy doing these things. And that's what really shaped up my own career path, right? And another question you need to ask yourself is, what exactly am I missing from my career right now? Beyond the money, we all know that, okay, in our economic system right now, we just want to go for the next big thing. But can you really deliver value in that next big thing that you're doing? Is it something that, even if I get this job, is this something that I'll be glad to do in the next 2, 3 years without having to worry about money, without having to worry about waking up early in the morning, right? You need to find something that you find joy doing naturally, no matter how, yes, even if it can be really stressful, right? That I even close work as late as 9, 10 p.m. And I still enjoy doing it, right? So you just need to, understand, audit your current position really. And another thing is that you have to clarify your target role or industry. Because if you are just a jack of all trade, they say jack of all trade is a master of none. Um, I once had a friend that she wanted to be an accountant, right? And there are different sections in accounting, I believe. We have the treasury aspect, you have the receivable payments and receivables, you have the banking reconciliation. I mean, you have supply chain in terms of those that are working in FMCG. So it's just that broad. And then you ask, I said, I'm looking for a job, I'm looking for a job. And then you say, okay, what exactly are you looking for? And then I just want to do anything. I studied accounting, so just find me something. I've heard people, I mean, it's just funny because I am quite active on LinkedIn, and I see people on my DM and saying that, okay, check out this CV. Just give me a job that I think relates to this CV that I have. And in my head, I'm like, how exactly are you even going to deliver value when you don't even know exactly what you want? It's just like telling me that as an HR now, we have HR generalists, we have HR specialists. And then you tell me that, okay, please just help me with a job, anything I can do in HR. I will see you as someone that is unserious, right? So instead of doing that, position yourself in such a way that whatever career path that you've set yourself to do or you've chosen to do, try to work in that light, because whatever you believe for yourself is really what you attract eventually. I mean, for instance, if you are looking for a role in HR, start checking online on LinkedIn, start positioning yourself in such a way that you can connect to other HR professionals and not just go to their DM and say that, I want any role, anything I can do it. You are not a machine, you can't do everything, right? You need to know exactly what your niche are. Instead of saying that I can do anything in HR, why don't you just say that I'm targeting an HR generalist role in a fintech industry? I am targeting um, an L&D role in an FMCG sector. And Allow your work to speak for yourself. Another thing is that you have to build a strong personal brand. Is everybody following? If you're
Yes,
following me, I
yes.
just need, yeah, okay. So you can build a strong personal brand for yourself. I can tell you for a fact that even while I was lucky, I would say that I was lucky to get a job in HR, right? At the same time, I wouldn't even say it is luck because I was constantly looking for jobs, despite the fact that I didn't have any prior experience in HR, right? I was constantly looking for jobs in HR, but I had transferable skills because as a customer experience person, I have a bit of emotional intelligence. I could also work with paying attention to details because as you're experiencing calling customers or receiving calls from them, you need to at least always detail their conversations, just to be able to for you to escalate it or resolve the issue one way or the other. We used to have a app then, I don't know if you can remember, it's called Zing. In Conga there, where you document every customer's um, details or whatever the customer must have shared with you for you to just okay know how to resolve that issue. So I knew that I had those transferable skills, and I was looking at okay getting a job in HR, but I never wanted customer experience again. I knew that I just wanted HR, so I was positioning myself in such a way that I could get jobs relating to my transferable skills, which also was in HR, right? So one of the first thing I think I did was to ensure that I constantly stayed active on LinkedIn, which is like a professional platform for all either a business person, a 9 to 5 person. I was always just putting great content out there. And before I knew it, people started poaching me, companies started poaching me, okay, we want you to do this. Can you join this organization? And then it was from a situation of me looking for jobs to jobs looking for me, right? So what you need to really do is build a strong personal brand. First of all, look at your LinkedIn profile. At least that's the one we all know worldwide, right? That okay, you can't say that you are looking for a role in engineering. And what I'm seeing on your LinkedIn profile is that you're a social media manager. Please, how does it correlate? It doesn't, obviously, right? Ensure that your or at least even if you're not posting, because I know that yes, LinkedIn is full of achievements, it's full of okay, I just got a new job, this, I just got a new job, that. The pressure is getting worse, if there's a word like that. But then again, try to create your own niche. You know that you're delivering real content, even if you don't want to even write anything, you don't want to do a write-up or anything, right? Just even engaging on people's posts will also make you visible out there. So that's another thing that really helped me in building a personal brand for myself. Even the days that I don't even feel like posting anything, I just go on LinkedIn, just check people's posts and just give a personal insight or just comment. Really, it just shows that I'm out there. And also, beyond even commenting on LinkedIn, ensure that you are also putting in the work, right? And also, another thing that has really helped me is I've also mastered the art of storytelling. So you've gotten the job. I mean, you've got a good CV, and now you are being interviewed. Even if you want to change career or you want to upskill yourself, right? Instead of just saying that um, I studied and so in so university. I am I'm a very analytical person. Why don't you just start by saying that? I mean, just show us real time storytelling. Like, okay, for example, consider that I moved from customer experience to human resources. I could have just said that what I would have done better was by saying that, okay, after spending 3 years or 4 years or 5 years in customer service, I realized that I liked to solve people's problems and building processes, which then led me to HR operations. So I can tell you for a fact that when you start with storytelling about telling me about yourself or telling us about yourself, starting with storytelling on the things that you've done, on how you were able to do it, understanding that story can, and I mean, it can always encourage or make any hiring manager willing to listen, right? And also another thing, aside from mastering the art of storytelling, is learn how to pitch yourself. For instance, maybe I mean I always ask, I've always seen these questions on social media platforms that okay, peradventure you are in the same room with Aliko Dangote, for instance, will you just stay silent or will you pitch exactly what you can do, right? So what exactly are you pitching? Learn how to pitch yourself in such a way that you can be confident, even if you are shaking from the inside. Learn how to pitch yourself in such a way that you can be confident, you can be concise, and then you know that okay, by the time I'm saying these things, there is an outcome to it, right? Instead of just saying that maybe you get asked a question during an interview that okay, tell us about yourself. Instead of just saying that I'm a customer service officer, you could have probably started with I am a customer success executive with about so years, number of experience helping small businesses or startups or FMCGs, depending on the organizations you've worked, helping them solve their customer centric issues whatsoever. And really, even before you go for any interview, right? Another way of positioning yourself is to ensure that you rehearse all these lines, right? Another thing is that you allow yourself, let your work speak for itself. You can use testimonials. One thing I've always learned for me on LinkedIn is that I always try to ensure that people give me some form of recommendation on LinkedIn. There is a tool on LinkedIn where you can go to your LinkedIn page and you can ask people that you've worked with before, give you a recommendation, except you're a bad person. And I believe there are no bad people here, except you have one person that is very lazy, that you know that, okay, if I ask for a recommendation, probably the person will be telling you like, right? Don't be scared to go on LinkedIn um, or reach out to people to give you testimonials about your work in such a way that even when you are going for interviews or when people are even about to coach you, they already see all those recommendations on your LinkedIn platform. I'm using LinkedIn here because we all know LinkedIn is really for professionals, right? People are already seeing exactly what you can do just by um, your profile, just by the recommendations that people have given you. People that are trustworthy, people that you've worked with before. You just realize that it's not magic. You just realize that people start to coach you, sort of, right? Another thing is that when you're applying for roles, if you say that you want to position yourself, you can't be. People say that okay, even if you apply for 100 jobs, at least you will get 10. I tell you that that's a lie. As a hiring manager, I even if I get 100 CVs, I can tell you that I can't check the whole 100 CVs, right? So even if you're applying for a job, know that you're not just applying to any random job. You can't say that because I really want to transition into let's say a project manager from a customer service person, and I want to transition into a project manager. Of course, you must have taken courses relating to project management. There are a lot of online courses that you can take for free now. There is Allison, there is Coursera. I know that okay, for Coursera, you probably will still get to pay for the certificate, but you've learned something for free, at least relating to project management. So if at all you are now applying for jobs, you should be applying for jobs relating to what you have learned or what you know you can do. And not that when you now eventually, because even another thing is that you have to also position your CV in such a way that you will be able to, um, your CV is catchy enough for an interview. I've heard people like say that I've applied to 100 jobs. All I keep getting back is rejection emails or is a scam calling me. I hope you realize that there are a lot of fake jobs on LinkedIn. There is 1,001 fake jobs on LinkedIn. So you need to know how exactly you can apply for jobs. Don't just apply for just any job. Apply for something that you know that you can do, something that you know that okay, um, this job, I know the hiring manager, if possible, or it's actually a genuine organization. Don't just apply out of, okay, what's the point of you applying for 100 jobs and realizing that out of the 100, it was just maybe two jobs that are actually valid, right? So instead of just wasting your time, strategically apply for jobs. And when you get CVs, a lot of people say that I don't want to tailor my CV. That's a lie. You need to tailor your CV to the JD. Of course, for every job that you're seeing online, beyond the salary, don't say that okay, you've seen 1 million naira for a role of a human resource manager, and you that you're an HR officer, you know that you can't do this job, but you applied. What were you expecting? Are you expecting that magic will happen or favor of God will just show on you, right? Even if favor of God shines on you, right? How then do you defend yourself in an interview, right? So if it's something that, so that's why I'm saying that even if you're tailoring your CV, tailor your CV to that JD in such a way that you know that even if you have seen the JD, you know that okay, these are things that I can actually do, right? So it's just like this now. If you have a CV that just states your job functions in your current workplace, and then you realize that that job functions that you currently have right now on your CV also matches what is on the JD, but with a different English entirely. Tailor your CV to that JD with that same English, and I can bet you that if you apply for 10 jobs and you tailor your CV to those jobs that you see, there's a probability that you get at least 8 of the hiring managers to call you for an interview. I bet you. It's now your choice to now defend yourself well or not during the interview. So it is better, apart from applying strategically, and you need to, I mean, one of the things in applying strategically is to tailor your CV, use keywords, reach out to um, HR managers, reach out to the, I mean, even the company owners. There's a time that I was looking for a particular job. Unfortunately, the job ended up being toxic anyway. But I reached out to the, it wasn't that the person didn't even post, they didn't even post anything. I can tell you that there are a lot of companies that they're hiring and they're not even posting them on LinkedIn. But you can just reach out to maybe the HR personnel in that company that, okay, I'm looking forward to joining the organization. Even if there is no um available position yet, that person probably has you in mind. I'm not now saying that you should now spam their emails or spam their LinkedIn inbox, but at least on a periodically, you can just always reach out to them just to say hello and then hope they still have you in mind, right? Also, for an organization, now that we know that, okay, we are applying strategically, if you know that there's a particular company that you really want to join, right? And you know that you can add value to that company, there's nothing bad in following that company online. I can tell you for a fact because there was I just started working with a an healthcare organization right now, and the social media person was telling me that they see every likes and people that follow them, right? Even before I joined the organization, I ensured that I kept on following them back to back. Every of their posts, I always liked it. This is not even being desperate. I didn't even reach out to any of the hiring managers that, okay, well, please, I'm looking for a job. I didn't even do that. But when the job came, by the time I was asking the hiring manager that, okay, why, how did you even get my CV? They said my CV was just, um, was because they saw my CV in one HR mentoring group, number one. Another thing was that they realized that I was following their social media platforms and I was always liking their every post. That was one thing that caught their attention, right? That made me one of the top picks beyond now me defending myself and ensuring that I got the job, right? So another thing is to ensure that you follow this company, build relationships. Um, Another thing which I've already mentioned is in terms of career positioning is you just have to keep learning and growing. There are a lot of things that we need to unlearn and relearn in this time and age. We are in the technology age. You can't be using methods of 2000, even 2010, compared to methods that they are using now in 2025, right? Always take free online courses, even if you're an expert in your job. Another thing that helps you for positioning is ensuring that you take free online courses, attend webinars like this, learn new tools that is relating to your field, right? And also another thing, then last but not the least, is to ensure that you ask for help where it is needed. I'm not saying you should just continue to ask questions, but there's really no silly questions when it comes to your own career growth. Always have a mentor. Personally, for me, even in the HR industry and even in customer experience line, I have mentors. I have people that I can always reach out to, mentors that I look up to that, okay, yes, they don't have to even be well known. But I know that okay, these people, when you work with them, you see value, they impact your life. I have mentors that I work with. You can even decide to pay to hire a coach that can help you beyond there are a lot of people like what Segun is doing, he helps in writing CVs. So beyond getting your CV written and you already gotten the interview, right? You can get a coach, right, to prep you for an interview. So that will really help a lot. And you also need to join a community. If you're an engineer, join communities of engineers. That thank God we're in a social media age that you have a lot of WhatsApp groups or Telegram groups that you can join. I'm talking about meaningful ones. I think that will really help as well in terms of um, positioning your career. Another thing, before just to round up, is the fact that you need to ensure that there is no perfect time. You don't have to wait till oh I'm a bank manager before I could position myself. Even before you become a bank manager, there are some things that you must have understood in terms of clarity, in terms of consistency, and you just have to be confident, really. So I think with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you that it is best to position yourself career wise, strategically, and really, it's not always by luck, it's not by prayer points. I mean, of course, it's good to pray, it's good to believe in God, but even I'm a Christian. The Bible says that faith without works is dead, right? If you are not putting any works to it, God has given us um, that that
Be able to
value. He
do
has given us
this.
that right to be able to position yourself. So yeah, so that's just it majorly in terms of career positioning, really.
Wow,
So if you have any
wow,
questions,
wow, that's really nice. You did give us a few points, so Toby. There were a lot of points that you gave us. Thank you so much.
yeah,
I'll
thank
still
you.
open the floor for questions in a second, but I just wanted to run over some of the things you said that stood out to me, just to kind
Yeah,
of like add, because I love when you said apply strategically, because yes, not every
yeah,
job is for you, because most of
yeah.
the time you also need to like scan through the job description, look at the
Mm-hmm.
expectations of the role, and ask yourself, is this something you can really do? So you need to
Yeah.
apply strategically. And another thing you also mentioned is that not all the jobs are actually posted, and that is actually true. 80% of the jobs
Yes,
out there are not advertised. That's the truth.
I tell
And
you. I
yes,
tell
and in
you.
a separate video, I already did that where I encourage people to. I created a strategy where they can reach out to human resource professionals on LinkedIn personally and
Mm,
let them know that they are open to new roles and explaining their experience.
mhm.
I gave a testimonial of how I was able to get series of interview for a company I did not know was recruiting, but because I was able to reach
Mm,
out, they saw got interviewed. So that strategy Leoram actually works. Then tailoring your resume to a particular job application. Yes, that's actually very necessary now because you need to
Mm.
let the recruiter know why you are qualified. Let's say 5 years
Exactly.
ago, 5 years ago, that might not be essential. Right now, it is essential because the competition is quite stiff outside, and you need to
I
convince the
tell you.
hiring manager why they
Mm-hmm.
should employ you. Because 5 years ago, if you
Yeah.
had said that, okay, just tailor your CV to a particular industry and only apply for jobs in that industry, that used to
Yeah.
work. But right now, that doesn't work. You need to also always tailor it to the specific role that you're applying for. Because during the conversation too, you mentioned something about transferable skills, in customer service and all
Yeah.
that. Because some of those
Mm-hmm.
skills are transferable. Because if you've worked in
Yeah.
customer service, maybe as an HR intern, or because the people skills are still there. So those skills are transferable,
Yeah.
but you as the person applying for the role, you must be able to know how
Mm-hmm.
to, indicate those transferable skills and add it to the resume. So because sometimes it's even in your maybe introduce yourself and experience into the role that attract the recruiter to say, okay, let's contact this person.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the need you said that we should always keep growing, maybe country courses. These the gospel I've been preaching on this channel for a long time. So
Yes,
you
sir.
were, you were reaffirmed. Then another thing I also like to add is that brand development. You also mentioned that too. That is important
Yeah.
to build your personal brand. You are trying to look for a job and all that. So for me, I
Yeah.
think it that personal brand stuff works because I think last year I was really onto applying, applying, applying. I applied for so many jobs. I got to a stage that I even got tired. So I just had a light bulb moment and I was like that the time and energy I'm using to apply for these jobs, what if I use it to develop my personal brand and try to attract in the first place? Immediately I had the change of mind for LinkedIn training and all that. Those jobs started coming because sometimes people do things the traditional way and they think that okay, apply for 1,000 jobs or 100 jobs, that's what's going to get you. Yes, that can work sometimes, but the amount of efforts that you put in that, if you can just transfer it into building your personal brand and maybe experience and showing people on LinkedIn or maybe whichever platform you feel you want to express yourself, you get those opportunities attracted to you. And there's one thing I need to also let people know. Do not always think that who is seeing me. They are seeing it. If people don't maybe comment on your post or they don't see anything, that doesn't mean that you are not seeing it. Do you understand? Then another thing, stay consistent. Times you might have inspiration to post this week, next week you may not have the inspiration, and you know, you've lost the momentum you have been building. So that's what I just wanted to add. Okay, I think due to network issues, we lost Toby. I think she'll be joining us back. But if anyone, please, can you please raise your hand? I'll try and answer. And maybe when she gets back, would also take contributions on that too. So does anyone have any question on what we discussed, career positioning, things along those lines? Okay, yeah, Toby is back. So yes, does anyone have any question? Because we still have a few minutes. Okay. So, okay, so while we're waiting for people to ask questions, I like the points that you also made when you said that ask for help when needed. And then that's part of the services I offer. I offer
Yeah.
action because some people they know they have an interview, I'm not sure what to prepare for,
Mm.
So if you need help with, I'm always very happy and excited to actually help people with that because once you are interviewed, once you are scheduled for an interview, I think you're 25% into the company. Let me just say that because
Yes,
you
sir.
get that deal of an interview, I will tell you that 35% of the work has already been done. You just need just a
Mm.
little more, to be able to cross over to getting an offer. And you need to always make all the information that you need, to actually. So if it's just a little help that you need, please, all for help. Do you understand? So, but if anyone needs help with that, I can also assist with that. Just before we round up, before I forget, I wanted you to talk about your book. So, 1st of July, you have a book launch, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted you to come onto the webinar briefly a bit about that and how people can eventually get the book. And let me see why you talk about it. I'll try and see if I can post the link. So Toby, please go ahead with that.
Okay. Thank you so much again, Segun. I'm so grateful, and thank you so much for having a platform like this. The title of my book is called Dear Candidates, the Career Positioning Playbook. So why that? Honestly, it was funny enough. It was just a post on LinkedIn that I talked about. This idea came about. That was about 3 weeks ago, thereabout. It was a post I made on LinkedIn about um, how I had an experience with a candidate, several of them, but there's just one that particularly stood out negatively for me. And she was applying for a sales role. CV was fantastic, funny enough, right? And by the time we called her and I asked her, that, okay, what exactly are your strengths as a sales executive person? This girl told me that I am a good girl and I can sell. And I honestly thought she was joking. Everybody, I mean, the other panelists thought that she was joking. And I'm like, I laughed. She was like, she was just numb. And I'm like, I'm serious. Is that what you have to say? Say, yes, I'm a good girl. I can sell anything I have passion for. And that just struck me that then we have a lot of, unfortunately, we have a lot of people that um, don't, they probably have very good CVs, but they don't even know exactly how to even position themselves. Even when they eventually get that interview, they don't even know how to um, have the right words to say, right? For me, I feel that that girl probably was just nervous or she just doesn't even have anything to say. So that was what really brought the idea of the dear candidates, the career positionist playbook. So it has a practical aspects to things. It's majorly from my own story, from people's stories that I've seen, how I also was able to transition from customer service to human resources, and how other people, in case you are looking to transfer, so I mean, transition to another career entirely. So it's not just even for recent graduates. It's not for it's not just for job seekers alone, it's even for people that are currently working. So I assure you that, I mean, by the time you're getting the book, it's launching, it's an ebook, it's launching on the 1st of July. I assure that you will definitely get real life insights, practical assignments that you can actually do as well. That's, yes. So I had to cook this up and ensure that I bring it out just to deliver more value to people out there that really, really needs it. And I can assure you that, I mean, 5,000 naira, I mean, I gave it to my mentor to read, and she was like, why am I even charging 5,000 naira? This is should be more than that. But don't let me talk too much, really. It's power packed, really, honestly. So, yeah, that's really what my book is all about, the career
Yeah, about.
positioning. So it's just, yes, really. I can also share my screen for you to just see the book cover as to
Oh,
exactly what I'm
please.
talking about.
We
That's
love
fine.
that. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Please hold on.
So while you do that, I just wanted to say that I've dropped the link on my support community. So for those that are in my support community, I've dropped the link to the ebook there. Then I also dropped it here on the chat. Okay, wow. Okay, so this is the cover.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the cover, and I assure you that it's beyond the face that you're looking at there. It's something that will help a lot of people, a lot of candidates, a lot of people that are looking to position themselves out there. You don't even have to say a lot of things, but just by your CV speaking for you, by you being able to position yourself, you've been able to just stand confident in rooms and still have clarity, and people are really willing to listen to you. So it's just power packed, really.
Okay, all right.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much. Yeah, so I've also dropped your LinkedIn URL here. So please, for those that would like
Yes,
to maybe
thank you.
connect with you or book later, please, you can also reach her on LinkedIn. So please, so for those that are not in my support community or maybe join this link from and invite, please just follow Toby on LinkedIn so that you can message. And to be honest, I would really encourage people to actually to pay for knowledge. Nigeria, let me generalize a bit. A lot of people do you get, and they want resources and all that. That is good, but you get to a stage in life when you need to invest in yourself, and there is no there's a time for that. You need to invest in yourself, and if you can do that with a small fee, do you understand, just to get information, do you understand, please, I feel you should be open-minded to things like that. So even if you cannot maybe buy the book, you're on a budget, it's fine. So please have it in mind, plan for it, and make sure that, because
If
the
sorry,
greatest asset.
sorry to cut you short.
Yeah,
Sorry to cut you
no problem.
short. In
Go ahead.
fact,
It's fine.
you can actually pre-order before the 1st of July. So even if you cannot, I
Oh,
mean, of course, as already, you can pre-order for just 3,500. And just like Segun
oh,
said, I
great.
mean, if there's this feeling when you get something free of charge, you probably will just see it as it's nothing, right? But when you realize that
Yeah,
even if it's your 5 naira that you used to pay, that okay, I need to apply this, I need to apply this, and I can tell you that it is even more than the. I mean, what you're getting is definitely way more than the amount that you can use 3,005 or 5,000 naira to buy burger, right? Or something. And imagine you having this for a lifetime. So it's just
yeah.
them. So they can also as well pre-order really, and then they
Okay.
get it on the launch.
On the launch. Okay, that's excellent. That's excellent. So I've dropped the link. So, but just to round up, Toby, someone here asked the question about AI. So some people kind of like that AI is taking their jobs. So to know what your thoughts is around that, and you as a human resource professional, how does AI help you your job and things like that? You can just speak.
If anybody is saying that AI is taking their jobs, I'm sorry for you. Let AI be your friend, really. Because what AI has done, as long as you have the right prompts, which of course I already put in that book too as well. If you have the right
Okay.
prompts, right, it's
Hmm.
just beyond saying that, okay, AI, please do this assignment for me. No, right? You can't, because everybody can see that it's generic, that okay, it's AI that is doing it. There are
Exactly.
prompts that you can actually use for AI in such a way that you can even do a job that will take you about 3 hours. You can do it with AI. I'm sorry about that. You can do it with AI in just 30 minutes, and for you to just proofread, because it's your idea, right? That you put as a prompt on AI for you to just flesh it out, right? Let me tell you for a fact that my book cover, if you don't know, was done with AI. So
Wow.
I just fleshed out. I didn't give any designer of, well, and that does not mean that designers or graphic designers are not making money, right? It's just because, okay, I like I said, I thought about this idea in less than 3 weeks, and I just wanted to finish it up and then just throw it out. In as much as it is
Okay.
power packed, definitely, but that book cover alone was done by AI, and I got a lot of responses. Which designer helped you? Which designer this? Which designer that? Really, putting my picture was done by AI, so you
Okay.
can use
All right.
AI to your advantage, really. So that's it, really.
Okay.
So AI
That's
cannot take
great.
our jobs.
That
It only
that's
enhances
great.
your job.
Your job, exactly. My thoughts
Yeah.
exactly. So speaking of AI, so for those on the call, I want you to still stay glued to my support community, because in the coming weeks we do have plans to kind of do trainings on, let people know how to improve your work, automate your process, and all that. And I'm going to be bringing it, someone like a specialist that has good knowledge about the topic and how we can help you automate your work, and how you can carry AI along with what you are doing and make your work. So, but it's possible that sessions may be paid, okay, but I'll make sure that it's very discounted. So what I'll be later after this webinar, I'll drop an opinion poll on the channel on to pay for paid training that has to do with AI and things of that nature. So that will be coming up next month. But this is just and get your opinions and things like that. That's why I wanted to get that you need to work with AI, and AI is supposed to enhance your work. Do you understand? So AI is good as the prompts that you give it. So all those details is going to be discussed in the paid training, and we'll also need to communicate when okay. So, but like I said, please try and encourage people to support my work. They can subscribe to my channel, they can communities, and learn to invite people we have on Sundays. Okay. So again, thank you Toby for making out the time. This is highly appreciated. I know your schedule was really busy and this almost did not happen. But
Yeah,
I'm happy that
yeah.
yes, we still came through and we had the thank you so much
Thank you
again
so
for
much
the
for
time
having
and
me.
for everyone that joined. Okay.